I think it's important we talk about the economics. Education is, in the end, there is an economic point to everything we do. We have to face that.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's really important, if we're going to make this work, that the infrastructure that sits behind it works as well. So making sure that your wireless system works properly in school and realising that it's not just the bag I'm taking home with me tonight is the solution. It's actually making sure the infrastructure back at school is right and that you've got your iPads and you know how to use your iPads knowledgeably. I actually think there's quite an interesting, I can't prove this, but I think there's quite an interesting age in school leadership at the moment. And I class myself in this bracket of heads and school leaders who grew up without technology in the classroom. And I think we are a little bit still quite hesitant. It bothers me no end that I can be working on an iPad on something and my daughter takes it off me and she's sorted it within seconds. And I think our reluctant sensitivities around technology is perhaps holding our staff back, because I think our staff are from more of a digital native generation.
Yeah. Deb, you must have views on that with your role.
Yeah, with my role, like our department we have 90 primary schools in Bolton. So whereas these guys are from their own setting, my was, how do I actually get it out to 90 primary schools? Because, okay, I've got Andy and I've got me and we're banging the tambourine type of thing, but how do we get it out there? And we both sort of said the best thing we've got to do is give time and run as many different times of the day, 2-hour workshops. Get your staff out, let's give them the thing that will pick it up and they can run with it straight away. We didn't touch assessment, we didn't touch all the fancy stuff, we just had, can you get on? So my role was, Andy was doing all his fabulous stuff, but my role was, can they fundamentally log on and access the resource before they leave? It's no use saying, do it when you get back to school, because it'll never happen. So they left our training session with the book, of course, and logged on, and then they knew how to actually sort of start that lesson there and then from following that. And we've run loads of those in mornings, afternoons, just throughout different days, all of the time. And that was since we did November up until like the summer, and now we're still doing new to LBQ, that's what we call it for our training sessions. But we've now started to do the assessment feature and the advanced features and all of that sort of stuff, because that's where then it then can grow. Staff want to know how will it help me now, and impact on that.
And this point about confidence in the resources you've met, that it will work first time. There's a Dutch saying, isn't there, that trust arrives on foot and leaves on horseback. If it doesn't work the first time, that's it. I've lost confidence in it. So making sure the infrastructure is correct. This is all. I wanted to pick up one more point from you, Andy, and run it down the line. We do have to put this as a choice over an alternative. You could spend your money here and time here, you could spend it there. This is always the test of leadership. How do I make a decision? Have you got a sense on the return? There's a return to learning, we're saying. There's a return to teacher workload. Is the value there? In the end, it's a question of value and decision making.
It is, and I think it's seeing in its widest sense, because, funding is short in schools. Yeah. We've laid staff off, and I'm sure there's stories like that in every person in this room. But ultimately, we also have to look beyond that in terms of how can we deal with the workload crisis that we've got in our schools. And I thought there was a lovely point somebody made this morning. This isn't about creating time so that you can do something else. I think it was you that said it this morning. It's not a question of this will save me a whole load of time, therefore I can spend another 3 or 4 hours doing something else. This is about getting our lives back, and we shouldn't, as teachers and school leaders, feel bad about having a life of our own. It's something that we need to get back. We are far better quality teachers and leaders if we're refreshed.